Hey everyone, welcome to Colin's Creatures. This is a snake board, and I hope to find some garter snakes underneath it. Now, you may think that the garter snake is your common, run-of-the-mill, cute, or harmless snake that you'll find in your garden. But I actually think the garter snake is badass, so I can try and find a garter snake so I can prove to you that the garter snake is badass and give you 7 reasons why. Oh geez, there's actually 3. I'm gonna try and get, well, one of them just slithered off, so I'm gonna try and get the biggest one that stayed, which is that one right there. It's actually in blue. Well, there goes the number 1 reason of why I think garter snakes are badass, and that is they will musk or poop on you. Musking is a defense mechanism that many snakes have, which is where they'll excrete a very stinky substance out of their cloaca, which is at the base of their tail, and that is where they poop out of, and if it's a female, will lay eggs out of. And while the musk itself is harmless, it can be very smelly, and depending on the animal, it can be extra smelly. So if it's a water snake, which only eats really fish, it'll be very, very stinky, and garter snakes eat a whole variety of things, being fish, small invertebrates, and a bunch of other things, so their musk is very, very stinky. So there's the cloaca, and there's actually something sticking out of it. That might actually be a bit of poop. It's very stinky, I can smell it. Now the number 2 reason of why I think garter snakes are badass is they are rear fang venomous. Now these fangs aren't the same as your traditional rattlesnake or cobra fangs, which are hollow and will inject the venom into you. These fangs are small little teeth in the back of their mouth with grooves on them that the venom will run down into the puncture wound. And the venom isn't very dangerous to people because it's not made to hurt people. It's made to get their prey. And the worst out, and if a garter snake was to bite you, it would have to chew on you to get the venom inside of you. And this would normally cause light irritation and swelling by the bite site. Since we're talking about venom, let me explain the difference between venom and poison, because it's a very common mistake that people will make. Venom is when a toxin is injected into a victim through their fangs or a stinger, and poison is when a toxin is ingested, inhaled, or absorbed through the skin, which will then get you sick. The number 3 reason of why I think garter snakes are badass, and that is they eat badass prey. More specifically, toads and newts. Toads, as well as many newts, have poison. Toads have poison glands all around their bodies, especially 2 big ones behind their eyes. And the red-spotted newt, for example, has a textrototoxin, more strongly so in their juvenile form, which is the same kind of neurotoxin that's in fugu, and that can kill you, which is why many animals don't try to eat those animals, because if they try to, like your dog, they will get very sick or even die depending on what animal they messed with. But the garter snake is immune to their poisons and eats them no problem. And to add on to the garter snake's badassery, toads will inflate themselves to make it hard for the predator to swallow them. But garter snakes will use their rear fangs to pop them. And that brings up the number 4, the 4th reason why I think garter snakes are badass, and that is they can become poisonous. If a garter snake includes toads or newts in their diet, they will retain the poison in their bodies and recycle it for their own use. So they will not only be venomous snakes, they'll also be poisonous, which makes them one of the only truly poisonous snakes. The 5th reason of why I think garter snakes are badass is they can be found in a huge variety of biomes. They can be found in temperate biomes like here in Pennsylvania. They can be found in dry, hot biomes like the desert. They can be found in humid, hot areas like the American Southeast. And they can be found in very tropical regions all the way down south into Costa Rica. And they can also be found up north where it can get very cold like in Canada. The 6th reason of why I think garter snakes are badass is under the right conditions, garter snakes will gather in the thousands, most of them being males, to mate in the Narcissus snake dens in Manitoba, Canada. The seventh reason of why I think garter snakes are badass is they give birth to live young. This is called being ovoviviparous in reptiles, and what it basically means is they have eggs, but the eggs are internal, and then they will hatch inside of the females, and the females will later give birth to live young. Now, other snakes do this, like boas and rattlesnakes, and those snakes are badass, with garter snakes having clutches up to 40 babies at once, and giving live birth to 40 young ones is very badass. So those are the 7 reasons why I think garter snakes are badass, and hopefully you think that garter snakes are badass too. So thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and I'll stick some on Colin's Creatures. Now I ain't gonna let this badass go.